Yo, what's up? Trey TD23 back in with another video. I'm going to be talking about my power forwards. I'm probably going to be wearing the same shirt in the next 3 to 4 videos because I'm making a bunch of videos today so I can post them while I'm not home. But, yeah, you guys will get over it. It don't matter. I'm going to be talking about my top 10 power forwards going into next season. Now, taking into account, Pascal Siakam is injured, so he's not going to be there. And then for centers, I don't know if there's any centers that are in my top 10 that will be injured, but I'll let you guys know in the beginning. Like, Pascal Siakam is not on this list because he's going to be injured going into the season. Klay Thompson wasn't in my list. Kawhi Leonard wasn't in my list. So there is some players that will not be on my list, obviously, because they're injured. They're going to be injured going into the season. Starting at number 10, Jaren Jackson Jr. He only played like 10 games last season. Not a lot. 10 out of 72. I think he played a little bit in the playoffs. Not too bad. But, I mean, I don't see 10 players better than Jaren Jackson Jr. right now. Okay, you know what? Take that back. Pascal Siakam is not on the list, so Jaren Jackson Jr. is on my list because Pascal Siakam is not on the list because he's injured. But Jaren Jackson Jr., the Grizzlies made a good playoff run. They only won one game in the playoffs against the number 1 seeded Jazz. But, I mean, they weren't even, like, the past 2 years were not expected to make the playoffs at all. But I think Jaren Jackson Jr. this year, it will be a big come up for him. I think he's going to go into the second option, second best player on the Grizzlies role. Strictly because he kind of has to now. Because it's Jaren, Desmond Bane. They got Steven Adams, but I don't think he's going to be there much. I don't think he's going to be there long. He might stay, but he's not going to be starting. Jaren Jackson Jr. has got to play center, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jaren Jackson Jr. was a center next season. Yeah, none of the guys above him he's better than right now at this moment. Number 9, I have Draymond Green. The stats don't say anything about Draymond. He's not a scorer. Can't really score no more. He's a playmaker. He's a defender. He's a rebounder. He does everything on the floor very, very well except scoring and shooting the basketball. He helped Steph Curry almost win MVP as a team that didn't even make the playoffs. He was teaching James Wiseman. As soon as Wiseman went out, Draymond Green's like, okay, now I don't have to hand motion where to go, what to do, and everything. And here he is. He's number 9. I mean, he's still top 10 power forwards. I think last year he probably would not have been here because he was terrible in 2020, the bubble year. He was absolutely terrible. But Draymond Green just does a little bit of everything. He was top 3, I think, for Defensive Player of the Year this year. Or he was top 5. One of the two. But, yeah. Draymond Green just does a little bit of everything. Does what he needs to do. Helps the team do whatever the team needs to do. And, yeah, that's why he is number 9. John Collins is my number 8 power forward. I was hesitant between Draymond and John Collins. I was tempted to put Draymond ahead of John Collins, but John Collins had an amazing playoffs last year. Got what he wanted. He got 25. He got 125 for 5 years by the Atlanta Hawks. Pretty much exactly what he wanted. He turned down a contract, bet on himself, and got the money he wanted. He showed he could play defense. He showed he can play center. Small ball center. He showed he can shoot. He showed he can do a little bit of everything, damn near. Playmaking, not so much again. But they have Trae Young for that. They have Trae Young, and yeah, John Collins showed that he can play. Showed that he can play defense, center, blah blah blah. Number 7, I got Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris was good last year in the playoffs, especially in the first round. Averaged like 22 to 25 points per game in the first round, and in the series against Atlanta, did not do very good. And in one of the games, he got outscored by Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons had 9 points. He had like 4. For like your secondary scoring option, that's not what you want. And with Seth Curry being their second best player that series, Seth Curry dropping 30 that game, if Tobias Harris gives you 15, and Ben Simmons gives you 15, and Embiid gives you whatever he gave you, you should win that game, and that might be the series. And Tobias Harris, I'd say he's more of a third scoring option. If the 76ers can get CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons, I think that's great. Not only for scoring, for spacing, Tobias Harris is this third option, and CJ McCollum's a great second option, as we have seen in the past 5 years in Portland. He's been right behind Damian Lillard, and that's a good spot for Ben Simmons because he's got a point guard that can stretch the floor. He has a dynamic point guard and not a dynamic big. But all in all, Tobias Harris, he's a good scorer. He can get to the great if he is more efficient like he is in the regular season. Regular season, he's efficient. He can score. During the playoffs, he kind of really is not very efficient. And he can play some defense. In the playoffs, he showed that, okay, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, they're playing defense. Seth Curry's trying his best. They got Matisse Thybulle. They got Danny Green, who went down. Tobias Harris is like, okay, everyone's locking their player down. I need to make sure that I don't let my opposing player score. So he wanted to lock in on the defensive side too. And you can do that when you're the second/third scoring option and you're not looked at to hold the ball. Ben Simmons was the playmaker, and Embiid was just the dominant person in the league, on the team and in the league. And yeah, if Tobias Harris is not that inefficient, I think the Sixers win that series. Number 6, I got Domantas Sabonis. Pretty much everything I said about Draymond, but just a better player. Sabonis, great all-around player, great rebounder, great in the post, can play make, he can score, he can shoot a little bit, but he doesn't really need to because they got Miles Turner, who's a stretch big. Some people will say he's not a stretch big, but he's a stretch big. He shoots threes and he blocks shots. That's all you can ask for. Does Sabonis play defense like Draymond? No. But if they're a high seed in the playoffs, I think he could show a little bit that he could be a defender. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But yeah, Sabonis just does a little bit of everything. His rookie year, he shot the three a lot. Second year, kind of lowered it. Last year, I think he kind of lowered it a little bit too. And then last year, he shot his his second or third career most threes he shot volume. It's pretty good. Domantas Sabonis, and there's not a lot of players that that you can name that can stop him in the post. Not a lot of players. Number 5, I got Zion. If Zion could round his game out like Julius Randle, he'd be ahead of Julius Randle strictly because of his age, and he's got more potential than Julius Randle. I just spoiled my number 4, but it's whatever. Julius Randle is number 4. Zion is number 5. Zion, because they want to make him a point forward. They want it to be point forward Zion Williamson. When they still have Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram can play make. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, they have him. He can play make. Devontae Graham, he's not a playmaker, but he's a scorer. If Zion is off the ball, like when Brandon Ingram's doing his ISOs, what's Zion doing? He's not sitting in the corner. He hit 1 3. I looked up his stat. He hit 1 corner 3 ball during the season, and that was it. He shot 100% from the corner, but he only shot 1 of them. So, I mean, it's not like a recipe for success when Zion is just standing there waiting for something to happen. Zion's nowhere near what Westbrook used to be. But Westbrook was kind of like that. He tried being like a spot-up shooter or whatever. He would just stand there. Same with Trae Young. If Trae Young doesn't have the ball, he's just standing there. He's not moving like a Steph Curry, like a Dwayne Wade, like a Paul George. LeBron, I really have not seen LeBron without the ball. So we'll probably see that more this year to see if LeBron can play off the ball. But Zion needs to round out his game. He needs to shoot threes. I see Zion as more of like a prime Blake Griffin. Can dunk the hell out of the ball. Ridiculous hops. Can rebound the ball. Can just score in the paint at will. He just needs to shoot threes. Because him weighing 250 plus, I think that he weighs like 270 maybe, like 250 plus at a 6'6" frame. And with how bouncy he is, how high he gets, how much he jumps, it's kind of hard for him. His knees will give out. What I'm saying, I don't want another Blake Griffin situation. I don't want another Derrick Rose, Tracy McGrady, Brandon Roy situation with Zion. He needs to run his game out. He needs to be more of a... He can still do all that athletic stuff, do all those dunks. He can still use his body, but he just needs to not do it as much. He does that almost every possession he tries to score. He doesn't need to start shooting the ball at a high level like Blake Griffin did for a year or two when he's comfortable, but just don't drive to the lane and give those legs so much to handle at one time, because he can go 4, 5, 6 possessions straight where he's just straight bully ball. Go up, get blocked, grab offensive rebound, goes back up. Like, he goes up for a shot, he goes up for a layup or a dunk, gets blocked, goes up, grabs that rebound, goes up again, boom. Then the next play down, he's going full speed, goes for a dunk. Then the next play, the same thing as the possession before. Block, rebound, dunk. Like, he can't be doing that possession after possession after possession because his legs will give out. And he'll get tired. There's no way he can play 40-plus games or 40-plus minutes in a single play when they make the playoffs. There's no way he can play 40-plus minutes a game in the playoffs if he's using all of his energy. That's what happened with Giannis. Giannis gives so much effort offensively that, like, to score the ball, that Giannis has been trying to work on a pull-up mid-range, on a spot-up 3, on a pull-up 3, spot-up mid-range, fade away. But he hasn't been able to perfect it to where he wants to. He shoots the threes, he shoots mid-ranges, but it's not as effective as him driving, and that's why he gets so tired. He uses so much effort to score the ball, he gets winded late in the game, and it's hard. That's why Zion has Brandon Ingram, and that's why Giannis has Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. But Zion's younger, he has plenty of time, but that's why we want him to do what Blake Griffin is doing right now. Blake Griffin every once in a while will go up for a dunk, but that's because he's already been through so many injuries. Zion right now, if he starts doing what Blake Griffin is doing, shooting threes, doing some playmaking, not always attacking the basket and giving those legs so much weight and so much responsibility to keep him up and to make him go up as high as he does, he should start shooting threes and playmaking. And he just needs to be a better defender and rebounder, to be honest. Zion is, like, he grabs rebounds, but that's because he gets a shot block and it goes right to him, or he just goes up. He's got, like, Hall of Fame pogo stick, like in 2K. I don't know if it's called pogo stick anymore. But he'll go up for a dunk or a shot, or a dunk or a layup. He'll get blocked. He'll go up again, grab it, go up for a dunk, and the same vertical all 3 times. So that's why... And he's so young, he's out of control sometimes. Sometimes he'll grab the rebound, try to go coast to coast, and he'll go out of control. For Julius Randle, obviously he's number 4, like I just said. He just played amazing. The difference between Zion and Julius Randle after last season is it's kind of going, but Julius Randle rounded his game out. Tom Thibodeau held him accountable. He's playing defense. He's shooting. He's playmaking. He's hitting step-back threes. He became clutch. He's got some decent handles, and he's gotten in more shape. He's doing what Blake Griffin pretty much did, except Julius Randle is not the freak of nature like Zion and Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin and Zion can jump over a card. I don't think Julius Randle can. Julius Randle rounded his game out. He's doing a little bit of everything. He's doing more scoring and more defending than anything else, but he can do a little bit of everything. That's why he led a New York Knicks team that had no expectations of even sniffing a play-in to having home court advantage. Okay, they did. To be fair, they did get eliminated in the first round, but he helped them make the playoffs. He didn't know how to react to getting double-teamed in the playoffs. He had to rely on Derrick Rose doing literally everything. The Knicks relied on Derrick Rose doing everything, dropping 25, 30, 35 plus points. I don't think he dropped 35 plus, but I'm just saying they relied on Derrick Rose doing everything that Julius Randle really couldn't do anything. He was struggling heavily. At number 3, I got Anthony Davis. I'm a little bit upset that that it's not really any argument for Anthony Davis being number 3 behind Giannis and Kevin Durant. I'm not going to say which order yet, but Kevin Durant and Giannis are on a different level than the rest of the guys. Like, it's probably KD and Giannis, Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Zion, Sabonis, Toby, John Collins, Draymond, Jaren Jackson, separate. Like, Kevin Durant and Giannis are in 2 separate tiers. KD and Giannis are different tiers than Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is last year was just terrible. Played 36 games, low points, low rebounds, high in 3-point attempts, high in, well, maybe not 3-point attempts, but high in mid-range shots, in everything. He was not attacking the basket. Anthony Davis is not like banging in the paint with the bigs, but he has the advantage over some people. He can defend a Jokic and an Embiid and a DeAndre Ayton. And he can also give them work. And he can also defend a Ben Simmons, a Zion, a Julius Randle, a Giannis. Not necessarily KD, because no one can guard KD. But he can guard and give them hard times defensively. It just sucks that there's no argument for him being behind Giannis and KD. It makes me mad. Like, the idea of Giannis and the idea of Anthony Davis and the idea of and the actual Anthony Davis, 2 completely different things. Anthony Davis comes in the league, first overall pick, first year, his rookie year, Damian Lillard wins Rookie of the Year. Second year kind of goes up a little bit. Third year becomes an All-Star, I'm pretty sure. He came in 2012. So his third or fourth year, he became an All-Star. And we thought he was going to be winning Defensive Player of the Years, MVPs. He was going to be making the playoffs, being a title contender. Pelicans completely screwed that up. They did get Boogie, but Boogie got injured, and then he declined a good contract that he could have got, more than he has made since then. But I mean, it's not Anthony Davis' fault that he was on the Pelicans and then he got injured. It's not Anthony Davis' fault. I'm not saying it's Anthony Davis' fault. It just sucks that there's no argument. I want Anthony Davis to show this year that he can be an MVP type player. He can dominate both sides of the ball and dominate all game. That's another thing. He's not aggressive all game. He thought he can do what LeBron does. LeBron coasts and cruises through the regular season. In the playoffs, he dominates. That's why LeBron has been so good, so good in the playoffs, is because he LeBron James cruising is still 25, 8, and 8. Let's not get that twisted. But LeBron James doesn't play defense how do I say it? Great level defense until the playoffs, and even then, sometimes LeBron James he's 37 in year almost 20. He's gonna have to take Anthony Davis is gonna have to move up, and LeBron's gonna have to take a back seat. I think that's what LeBron's idea of getting Anthony Davis was. First, second year together, kind of show Anthony Davis how to win, how to preserve his energy, but still be really, really, really effective. After last year, obviously, okay, yeah, I get it. Shortest off season, came off of a title, out of shape, blah blah blah. It is what it is. But Anthony Davis has to be able to dominate. He can't come in out of shape. Giannis, if he had the shortest off season, he would have. I know Giannis is not like Anthony Davis. I know Giannis's work ethic is so much more than Anthony Davis, because Giannis is going to come back in shape. It's not going to look like he just won a title. It's going to look like he lost, and he wants to go again. Like, he wants to win. He wants to win again. He wants to go for that back-to-back. But, yeah, it's just sad that Anthony Davis is not really in a conversation with Kevin Durant and Giannis. Number 2, I got Giannis. Obviously, people could have expected that. I'm pretty sure I've said it in some of my recent videos, but Giannis is my number 2. It just came off a title, was not going to let his foot off the gas against the Phoenix Suns. I was kind of upset during the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks series. Giannis wasn't guarding KD. That made me a little upset. I really wanted to see that matchup. Maybe this year we can see that matchup. But, yeah. No, Giannis doesn't have any pressure on him. I'm sorry. Giannis has no pressure on him to win. He won his title. He's got one of the, if not the greatest, accolades at the age of 26, not of all time, of age 26. He's got 2 MVPs, 5 to 6 time All-Star, he's got a Defensive Player of the Year, made it to the finals, all NBA teams, all NBA defensive teams, most improved. Like, Giannis has so many great accolades in his 7 to 8 years in the league. It's so crazy, bro. The only couple people I can think that have better accolades is like Kobe. I'd say Kareem, but Kareem was in year 4 by the time he was 26, because he stayed in college for I think 4 years. So it's just crazy. Giannis has so many accolades at the age of 26, and to think at the end of his career, if he keeps up this trajectory, bro, he's going to be top 10 all time. Giannis will be top 10 all time, because there's really no one can really guard him. I mean, when he wants to score, he'll score. He took DeAndre Ayton completely out of the NBA Finals after he dominated the Jazz, Clippers, and the Lakers at certain points. But my number 1 is Kevin Durant. Best player in the league right now. If LeBron and the Lakers go to the finals and LeBron might take that crown again at age 38, bro. At year 20, bro. He might take that crown again. But Kevin Durant right now, best player in the league, greatest scorer of all time, most unguardable, most unselfish player ever, top 5 greatest shooters of all time. If Kevin Durant wanted, he can shoot like Steph Curry. I have no question about it. Most efficient superstar of all time. If it wasn't for injuries and if it wasn't for the centimeter of his foot being on that line, they win that title. They beat the Atlanta Hawks with a crippled James Harden and a fully healthy Kevin Durant. And I think Kevin Durant's going to win MVP this year. I said this last year. He got injured. Now Kevin Durant's going to go win an MVP this year. I'm calling it. Kevin Durant will win MVP. Quote me on it. If he doesn't, then it's not as out of the reach as it seems, because it's Kevin freaking Durant. But at the same time, Kevin Durant has fought through a couple injuries the past few years. And yeah. So I mean, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys haven't watched my Chicago Bulls rebuild, I'm going to be coming out with a couple more after these videos. I got 3 or 4 more NBA talk videos to talk about. And then I'll probably record 1 or 2 NBA rebuilds and post them throughout this week. And yeah. If you guys enjoy this video, please leave a like. If you guys want me to do my top 50 players, it'll take me a little bit to get the list, but I will see what I can do. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe. Peace.